Reading has its great utility. Reading gives us the theme to think about. Reading gives us the argument to consider. Reading gives us ability to think. Reading gives us the ability to differentiate what is good, what is bad. Hello and welcome learners. Wish you all are doing well and you are watching me on Knowledge Versatile. Reading. Reading is considered to be one of the greatest hobbies. More or less we all read and we love to read. During our school days we have to read regularly. Reading has its great utility. To learn anything, first and foremost, we'll have to study. And reading is a part of our study every day. Reading gives us the theme to think about. Reading gives us the argument to consider. Reading gives us ability to think. Reading gives us the ability to differentiate what is good, what is bad. And to learn a particular language, reading has its great utility. We cannot ignore the importance of reading. We cannot ignore. On the other hand, reading extensively doesn't mean that you will improve faster. You need quality reading. You need quality reading. Whatever you will read, you try to understand them. If it's not your mother tongue, if it's English, it means that you'll have to read it and you'll have to understand at the same time. If you do not understand anything, there is no utility of reading. You'll have to decide whether you will read 10 to 20 pages and understand nothing, or you'll have to read 2 pages but understand everything. If you read and understand everything, it is very much beneficial to you, and for the next time, whatever you have read, you can use the theme as your own. We'll have to read regularly. On the other hand, whatever we have read, we'll have to think about them. We'll have to use the words and the constructions, whatever we have read. Reading this much thick a book doesn't mean that you know a lot of things. Whatever you will read and from wherever you read, you have to understand and you'll have to use for the next time. In form of writing or in form of speaking, it is easier to write because that before writing we can think. At the time of writing even we can think. But at the time of speaking, it is quite impossible to think and speak. To some extent it is possible, but you cannot speak then fluently. To speak fluently, you'll have to think in English, then only you will be able to speak. But thinking first and then you will speak, then you cannot be fluent. To be fluent, you'll have to think in English. Now comes the point, what should we read? We should choose the articles and the books which are easy to us. We can read and understand, such as the tales, such as the storybooks, especially the books of the little ones. These books are written in simple words and simple constructions. If we read them, we understand. And for the next time, we can use these words and the constructions. So ordinary words and ordinary sentences are used in those books. And those books are interesting too. If you read those books once or twice, it is easier for you to grab all the meaning. And for the next time, you can speak those words and the sentences, and when you know the theme of the story, you can speak by yourselves. You can use some words and sentences from that storybooks. This is very much essential. This is very much useful for us. We are the learners of spoken English. Every day we need different kinds of themes, different kinds of words, different kinds of constructions. Every day we need. And reading book will supply us this kind of necessary items. It means words, constructions, themes, and variety. We can bring variety in our speeches. On the other hand, too much variety will spoil everything. Too much variety will spoil everything. Even you will forget the simple words and the simple constructions. So try to improvise your words and the sentences, but don't try too much. If you try too much, you will forget everything. Whatever you have learned, you cannot implement them too. So use your own words as well as sometimes take some words from your books, the stories, and somewhere else. That's why we cannot ignore the importance of reading books, reading articles, reading stories, whatever it is. In what? Even the subtitles. Even the subtitles on the movies, reading those subtitles are also very much essential in our spoken English. So we are the learners of spoken English. We need simple English. Wherever we find this simple English, we'll have to read them, we'll have to understand them and try to use and implement them when we will speak by ourselves. So keep it in mind that reading is very much essential part of our spoken English term. But if you only read and do not use the words and the sentences in your speech, this is quite useless. To improve your spoken English, you'll have to speak them. On the other hand, don't read at a stretch too much. At a stretch, read 2 pages, 1 page, and read it repeatedly. Read it repeatedly till you are confident, yes, you know the matter and you can use them. After reading extensively, when you will try to speak those words and sentences, if you forget some words and sentences, try to replace them with your own words, and if you cannot, then watch the book once again and use the word for the second time. So keep it in mind. Reading is very essential in case of learning English and even for spoken English. But if you do not speak, if you do not implement them, there is no use of learning of that kind of words and the sentences. On the other hand, reading but without understanding, this is also completely useless. If you read, you'll have to understand. Remember one thing, if you read, you'll have to understand and read that much which is understandable for you, till that much only. Don't go beyond that, and make a habit of reading every day. One day you are reading 10 pages, on the very next day you don't read at all. Don't do this. If you want, read 1 page, and the very next day read again 1 page. Every day, whatever you will do, make it a habit that you are doing it regularly. And regularity is very much essential. And reading, writing, listening, whatever you do, but learners of spoken English will have to speak first. Whatever you have learned, speak them. Read for 15 minutes, but speak for 1 hour. So this is our motto. We are learning spoken English and we are speaking every day. Check out my description box for more videos. I am not extending my words too much. I am concluding here. Love you all. Bye.